There's a reason that NFL coaches make over $8 million a year. Without a coach, most teams wouldn't be able to win any games, but few people know what an NFL head coach actually does. This is a day in the life of one of the most well-known NFL coaches in the league, Sean McVay. McVay likes to start his day off early, setting his alarm for 3:45 in the morning. He gets ready in a quick 15 minutes and is out the door and ready to go to work by 4. Jumping in his black BMW, McVay spends his 30-minute drive to work either listening to an audiobook or calling his friends and family on the East Coast. After arriving at the LA Rams office, McVay spends the next 3.5 hours reviewing footage from the previous game, planning out schedules, and deciding what the team needs to go over at practice that day. As he does this, different trainers and coordinators and coaches stop by his office to offer advice and answer any of McVay's questions. At around 6 in the morning, McVay has his first meal of the day in form of a bowl of cereal. This usually ends up being half eaten and left on his desk. Despite how much mental and physical energy McVay puts into his day, breakfast is the only thing he'll eat for a majority of his day. By 8 a.m., the whole team shuffles into the defense meeting room and gets ready to go over the day's plan. McVay stands in the back of the room taking notes while other coaches and coordinators move up to the front of the room to address the team. By 9 a.m., McVay is ready to take control of the meeting. He wastes no time getting started, letting the team know what they're going to be working on during the day's practice, and he shows them all the clips he spent hours watching earlier in the morning. To help keep people attentive and to add some comedic relief to the meetings, McVay will occasionally call on players and team members at random to ask pop questions. Not only does this encourage everyone to keep laser focused on the meeting, but it also lets everyone quietly chuckle when some unsuspecting player, or sometimes even a coach, gets called on and draws a blank. McVay leads his meeting for just under an hour before stepping back and letting other coordinators take the reins. The most important meeting happens once the full team is present. It focuses more on the emotion than the actual strategy or planning. Here he goes over the emotional strengths they are focusing on for the day, as well as giving his players some motivational quotes to live by. He always makes sure to tell the whole team to focus on APP, approach, preparation, and performance. After hours of morning meetings, the coaches and players make their way from the meeting rooms over to the Rams' 2 fields and get to work. The team can be spotted working through offensive versus defensive drills, with McVay standing on the sidelines shouting out instructions, criticism, praise, and plenty of motivation. While McVay knows what to look out for while coaching his team, he also makes sure that the entire practice is filmed from a higher angle for later review. After a rough 2 hours of intense physical and strategic training, practice comes to an end, and McVay gives the boys a quick motivational speech, telling them,
"We'll continue to compete. We're all making each other better right now."
Even though the practice is done for the day, McVay isn't ready to stop working just yet. In less than 10 minutes, he and his coaching team are set up in a meeting room with protein shakes and a recording of their practice. The next 4 hours are filmed with McVay constantly pausing and rewinding the practice footage with a remote, earning himself the nickname Remote Tyrant, making sure to note every tiny detail. As he and the team spots mistakes or issues in the footage, they make note of how everything can be addressed and fixed in tomorrow's practice. The meeting ends at 6 p.m. and McVay finishes up half an hour's worth of miscellaneous work before taking a shower and heading home for the day, making him one of the last people to leave work every day. He gets home just before 7 p.m., but this is where things just start to get crazy. Just being away from the office doesn't mean that McVay still isn't working. He frequently calls various coaching members to discuss any new strategies he thought of while at home, or to continue discussions that his players might have brought up during their meetings or practice. McVay's girlfriend Veronica gets home around 8 p.m., giving the two a little bit of quality time to wind down together before SHULA, Rams assistant linebacker coach and current roommate of McVay and Veronica, comes down and the three drink beer on the balcony. Despite not eating anything other than half a bowl of cereal and a protein shake over his incredibly busy day, McVay doesn't get ready to eat dinner until almost 10 in the evening. With his incredibly busy schedule, McVay doesn't have time to slave away in the kitchen cooking dinner, meaning that he and Veronica and SHULA frequently go out and take advantage of the amazing restaurant options in LA. The work doesn't stop at the restaurant, however. McVay and SHULA tend to dominate the conversation with discussions about football, either in regards to their own team or speaking generally, sometimes even quizzing the others at the table on football. After food, the group heads home and McVay gets ready to head to bed and start the busy process all over again. A day in Sean McVay's life isn't as fun or bright as most people, but check out this video of Tom Brady to see one of the most incredible days of the best quarterback of all time.